этого поединка мы с командой обдумаем. Нам надо хорошенько отдохнуть и восстановиться. И тогда мы обдумаем. Но я же слышал, что Тони Беллю хочет победителя этого турнира. И он как раз боксирует в супертяжелой весовой категории. Он же меня увидит, когда я говорю: «Эй, my dear friend, я готов».
First of all, we need to take a rest after this difficult fight. After that, we will sit with my team and take the decision. At this moment, I heard that Tony Bellew is looking for a fight with the winner of Muhammad Ali Trophy. I hope he would see me talking. Hey, Tony Bellew, are you ready?
Is that at heavyweight or cruiserweight?
Если он не хочет спускаться, то я с удовольствием поднимусь к нему.
If he doesn't want him to go down, I will go up for him.
Дополнительную порцию макарон кушать, и мне будет это на пользу.
I will take extra spaghetti for dinner.
Now, you share a birthday.
This is what Tony Bellew had to say. Now, he had to say something, because if he just would have went silent, you know, people would have been like, oh, he don't want that work. I think that he really does want the fight. I don't think that his promoter,
Legendary figure of the late Muhammad.
I don't think that his promoter, Eddie Hearn, wants to fight. You know, and a lot of people are already calling Eddie Hearn on it and saying, man, you going to tell Tony Bellew that there's not enough money in the fight and that the fight is too dangerous, blah, 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 blah. But that is the case. That's how Eddie Hearn's been working lately, you know. Tony Bellew, 32-1 with 20 KOs, losses to Adonis Stevenson and Nathan Cleverly. I've been covering him since the Nathan Cleverly fight, the first one, on YouTube. And former light heavyweight, he's not. See, here's the thing. He's not a heavyweight. You know, for those who don't know, his last two fights were against David Haye. Those two wins raised his stature, but hardcore fans know that, well, David Haye was, you know, not the same David Haye, and he was injured. But nonetheless, those two, you know, David Haye wins give him a sense of entitlement. You see what I'm saying? So, that being said, many are wondering, okay, well, where would Usyk versus Bellew take place? Usyk, the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, Ring Magazine. He is the guy at the cruiserweight division. He is number one in the cruiserweight division. Bar none, he has no rivals. But he's shown that he's willing to travel. And Usyk versus Bellew in the UK for all of the belts is a big-ass fight. But then will Eddie Hearn, who has his fascination with stadiums, say, hey, listen, we got to put in a stadium somewhere? I think so. You know? So, honestly, I really think it's a good chance that the fight can happen, you know? If it does happen, I mean, will Tony Bellew take a fight, an interim fight, you know, at cruiserweight just to get, you know, like, I guess a little bit of rust knocked off, because he hasn't really been active, you know, basically with those two David Haye paydays. So basically he's fought one time in 2017 and one time this year. We're in July right now. You might as well say we're going into August. So Usyk will likely get one more fight in this year against who? You know, we talked about it in our post-fight interview. You know, I doubt that he'll go with a Miras Briedis rematch, maybe Babette Shumanov, Andrew Tabiti. Let's go look at it real quick. Here's the cruiserweight division. You know, he already beat Briedis. Remember, he has the WBC, WBA, IBF. Dennis Lebedev is the champion in recess. I would be interested in seeing Usyk versus Junior Dorticos. But a lot of these guys that we're talking about, Briedis, you know, Dorticos, Lebedev, would also, in my opinion, give Tony Bellew issues at cruiserweight. And he's already said he's not really a heavyweight. And they're looking at an Adonis Stevenson rematch. And, of course, that Adonis Stevenson rematch would have to be a cruiserweight, right? Adonis Stevenson, a WBC 175-pound champion. I think that, if I'm correct, Tony Bellew was Adonis Stevenson's first title defense after winning the belt. The Tyson Fury fight is not going to happen for Tony Bellew. I don't see it because of the political network stuff with BT Sports, Sky Sports, and Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn. And there's no belt, so it's not going to go to purse bid. Who else has he been targeting? You know? He's not going to fight, Joshua. He's not going to fight Wilder. So, I mean, a lot of people going to think it's going to be a lamb led to the slaughter. I don't think that he can beat Alexander Usyk, and I'm a big Tony Bellew fan. And a lot of people are going to say, yeah, he's just going to get schooled. It's just a cash-out payday for him. And a chance to say he fought the best at cruiserweight he is the WBC Emeritus champion, which makes him the mandatory technically for Usyk. If he was to send the WBC a letter, or Eddie Hearn was to contact the WBC and say, okay, Tony Bellew is back at cruiserweight, then they'll order Usyk to fight him in a certain period of time. So if he wants to fight, he can really get it, but will he price himself out? And say, well, I beat David Hay and he only won the World Boxers. You can't play those type of games with somebody who has 4 belts. I'm sorry. You can't play the money game, I can see if it was the 3-belt situation with Joshua, because Wilder's, I got the other belt you want. But in this case, he got all the belts, bro. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.